Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about project milestones in client portals that are built with ClientPress. So ClientPress is a WordPress plugin that allows you to create client portals for your clients where you can manage your relationship with your clients right on your website. The project milestones is really how you add a layer of transparency for your larger projects where your clients may need to kind of follow along about your progress towards completion of the project. So a milestone is your big thing. Keep in mind that task lists are for those smaller things. Some people won't need both project milestones and task lists. You can disable them in the plugin settings if you don't want to have both active. But in general, task lists will be just your run of the mill everyday tasks, things that you're working through. Milestones will be big achievements on the projects. And you can assign or you can associate task lists with milestones so that you could have this task list and it may be associated with milestone one. So I'm going to create a test. We have a test task list here. I'm just going to call this task one, and I am going to just add that. So we have a really basic task list that we've put in here. We're going to go over to the project milestones. I'm going to add a milestone, and we'll just say that this is, I'm just going to call it, we're going to basically get our product design up and running. And for here, we'll add some random text to the description, and I'm going to say that that's going to be due, let's just say at the end of the week. This one, we can do a total cost for the milestone. What that means is, let's just say that we're going to do a total cost here of $500, and I want to have the client put a deposit down before we start the milestone. We could do that here. In this case, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say, let's add the milestone, and this is a total cost of $500. Due on completion is $500. So here's product design. Next here would be, let's do product packaging. And this one here, we'll do in another week. And then this one is going to be a little more expensive. Let's say that this is going to be $2,000. And this one is going to require a deposit of $500 for us to get started. And then we'll add our last one here, and we'll say product website. So we've got the product design, product packaging, product website, and this one is going to be $15,000, and it's going to require a $10,000 deposit to get started. So now I have our 3 milestones. If I want to associate any of these milestones with a task list, I could do that. I could say, here's our list. Let's link it. So now that task list is linked to this milestone. If I just want to have a milestone with its own task list that's not linked, we would just say, here's our task 1, and then we would add task 2, and I'll do last one for task 3. So here's a project milestone list that a client can follow along. Let's say we mark this as done. You'll notice it has total cost. So if I were to mark it as done, it's going to say that it's going to be complete. The client would then get a notification that this is complete and that we have a total cost here of $500 due, and they would be able to log into their portal and they would be able to submit payment for it. Now, this one is one where we do set a deposit, and now the client can set a deposit. So it automatically, since we've completed this step, when we did that, it's going to send them a reminder, hey, you've got to pay this. Also, to get started on this, you're going to have to put the deposit down of $500. You have a request deposit button and an option to manually mark as paid. The request deposit button is if this email auto-generates, but the client doesn't respond in a few days, you might want to send them a little reminder. So here, what I'll do is I'm just going to mark it as paid. And then I'm going to say that I've completed these tasks. And then I'm going to complete that. That'll complete the milestone. And then it's going to generate an email automatically to tell the client that they have $1,500 due, and they can pay for that right in their client portal. So these are your project milestones in your ClientPress dashboard. Really, really an incredibly convenient way to allow a customer or a client to follow along where you are on their project, have them put deposits down before you start milestones, mark them as paid, and then get the amount of money that's due on completion of each milestone paid to you in a convenient place. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're available at clientpress.io.